You comfortable?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, good. Just make sure, as long as you're comfortable, we're good.
I can't be more ready, I'm so ready right now.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Decaffeinated Photography. I'm Josh.
And I'm Alex. Today we're doing something a little bit different. So be sure to tell us in the comments whether you want to see more of this and what we can improve.
So without further ado, let's get into today's new and guaranteed to get a decent amount of clicks topic. The once thought dead company Yashica.
Yashica 1949年創業日本の誇るカメラブランド
has pretty recently successfully started and funded a project through Kickstarter.
Indeed. And if you haven't already figured out from the title of this video, it's called Digifilm. Now, contrary to popular belief, this isn't what Digimon fans have been looking forward to for the last 15 years.
Oh, wash away. Mimi, sorry. Huh? Ow!
Before we get started, let's get into a quick history of what
Yashica
used to be and what it is today.
Let's go to our resident expert in all things film, Dr. P. Yashica is a company that was established in 1949. In 2005, it was acquired by another business. The camera that we're looking at, this current camera, the camera that we're looking at is its first compact digital camera ever.
That was terrible.
From the get-go, the Kickstarter really gives you a sense of who this camera is marketed toward, with a good-looking video and a little, I don't know what you'd call it, a blurb? A poem?
A little short story, that's what I like to say.
The silence of story.
You like taking photos and wishing the time still, but what I want is to capture the moment and to remember the long-lasting feel. I keep all photos well, reviving each and every
I think we could probably stop it there. I think that's as much as you really need to tell.
The silence of
Basically, we'll cut to the end. Yeah, scroll down to the bottom. There is never a narrator, nor is it necessary.
Maybe I shouldn't have read it.
You don't need a narrator.
You don't meant to narrate it.
I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea what that means. What is this?
You don't meant to narrate it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's no narration.
Yeah, it's the silence of story. Bro.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the physical camera itself before we get into what makes this camera so different.
It has a 2.5 inch CMOS sensor. Let's just say it has a CMOS sensor. It has a CMOS sensor. At this stage of making the video, we're not sure what size it is. It says two different things on their website, on the Kickstarter. So still unsure. 14 megapixels, a 35mm focal length, an aperture of f2.0, and a choice of SD card or Wi-Fi card. According to the Kickstarter, the new camera will be combining the technology of the
Yashica
Electro 35 with the new unprecedented Digifilm system. Now, if you hold on 1 second, we have the camera that it's based off right here. It's
Pretty
pretty neat. Their goal is to recapture the joy and meaning of analog photography without the time and expense required for film development.
Yashica
Yashica
are introducing a new Digifilm system with the aim of giving photographers the tools to achieve film aesthetics without actually using film. He spelled aesthetics wrong. They will have different types of Digifilm that you load into the back of the camera. Similar to real film, they list ISO 1600 high speed, ISO 400 black and white, 120 format of 6x6, and ISO 200 ultra fine. You can't choose different filters / aesthetics once you have one loaded. If you want to do that, you have to load another Digifilm cartridge. To wind the film, as you can see from this diagram, all you have to do is, number 1, insert 2 AA batteries. Number 2, insert the trademark Digifilm. Number 3, winder the film. And number 4, press shutter to take photographs.
Wind the film.
Yeah, winder the film is what it said.
Wind to the film.
Dude, I think I've been doing my film photography wrong. Basically, we've struggled reading a few of these things out, and they've been quite funny because it's obviously the entire Kickstarter has been written in, I think, Mandarin,
other language,
and they've obviously Google translated it, some sort of translation to English, and it's a very poor form of translation, and a lot of it just does not make sense. Anyway, you will apparently need to load a Digifilm to create your album. Quite like a film camera, a brief pause is required to wind on, well, actually not winding anything, before shooting. Apparently this will grant us time to inspire and think the exact moment the shutter snaps.
Ah, yes. Because I never think that.
Yeah. Whether anybody really knows what this means is another thing entirely, I feel.
I know, this is the part of the segment that I like to call Ask the person who's scrolling down our feed teleprompter to say a few words. What do you think about this so far?
The concept, yeah.
I really like the CMOS. That CMOS is really good. And that camera looks pretty sick as well. That one there. You want to hold that up?
Wait, do you want to come in?
I really like this camera because it's got like an atom symbol. It's got an atom symbol there, so it's got like, you know, technology that we just don't even know about. Yeah.
Do you realize this is in the actual camera, right?
What?
Thanks for being here. Alright, let's continue. Another thing they boast about is the integration of a 4G lens. I couldn't exactly decipher whether this is a new technology they've developed. If it's anything like the 4G network, I'm assuming it's very fast. But with our research online, we couldn't really find anything once we researched 4G lens and typed it into Google. So maybe they didn't create this new technology.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool if they have done that.
If you know anything about 4G lenses, please correct us in the comments, because we have no clue what it is.
No idea.
So, Yashica, being a very respectable and very professional company, they have put a frequently asked questions tab on the Kickstarter. And they have some pretty good questions in there.
One like, can I value an unedited and full-size photo samples?
How many photos can a Digifilm hold? I mean, that's a pretty reasonable question. All photos will be saved in an SD card, but not in Digifilm. Digifilm provide different photography effect.
Damn right.
Thank you, Yashica.
日本の誇るカメラブランド
How do you protect your lens from scratches?
That's a real question that needs to be answered.
We confirmed the Y35 will come with a lens cap to protect the lens of Y35.
Is when people ask, like the question was, what is the focusing system of the Y35? Now that's, you know, what kind of like autofocus does it have? The response is, Y35 is equipped with a high quality fixed focus lens. I'm not sure if you know what that means, but fixed focus lens, that's...
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure that's saying like fixed focal length lens?
Yeah, I
is
think
that their
fixed focal
response?
length.
That's about it for things of substance in the Kickstarter. There's a lot of colourful language, synonyms, and obviously the questionable translation. As you can see from the aforementioned The Silence of Story, which really wasn't beautiful at all. The romantic language doesn't really say all that much. The Silence of Story. It tells, Josh. It tells. Do you know what it means?
After looking at the Kickstarter, what do you think about this, Alex?
I think it's a very cool and creative approach to digital photography.
Yeah, it's a big throwback to analog photography, and like we do harp on it a little bit, but we do in essence think it's pretty cool. Like
the limitations of like a certain film stock being stuck in that, like you can't change your settings apart from that. Like I think that's pretty cool. That is what film photography is.
Yeah. God knows when I have a DSLR, I just snap photos like a million times a second.
So maybe the Silence of Story will really make you think about the shutter, you know?
Yeah, it feels like a company that's trying to come back into the mainstream through this like attention-grabbing sort of crazy concept. I guess it's proving to work because we're talking about it now. I still think it's going to be a gigantic flop though, the camera. It's going to be a huge flop.
Do you think it's a bit of a fad?
It's a bit of a fad, it's a bit of a money-grabbing scheme as well.
Let me get this straight. So it's like they're making old cameras, an old style camera.
It's not that dissimilar to the Fujifilm film presets that we look at all the time, which you can get for free and you can use for free very easily. You don't have to open up the camera to change the preset.
It says that you need a way for it to wind. Okay, that's cool, but like that has a purpose in film photography. Like you're actually winding it. With this, it's doing it
just to do it. Basically.
Because you want to like have that nostalgic feel, and like if there's no purpose to it, then what's the point, kind of thing.
If I wanted to make a camera, right, and everything was perfect, everything was great, but my shutter speed was terrible, maybe I should just add a winder.
Somehow it'll be a selling point. Because also think about the manufacturing that would have to go into adding a winding sound. Like doesn't that increase the amount of money?
It just comes to speakers.
Yeah, I actually think I might put money down for this Kickstarter, and hopefully when it comes out, if it actually eventually comes out, we will have one on our hands. I'm not promising anything, but I am.
How much is it?
It's like $250 USD. Estimated delivery April 2018. Yeah, I'd be pretty keen to put some money down, and maybe we'll have one to review, and then probably sell straight away.
It is pretty cheap. It's pretty damn cheap. $171 US.
But yeah, we will hopefully have one by the time production starts, and we'll be able to give you a real hands-on look at it.
Yeah.
Any other final closing thoughts?
Well, if you like the episode, that bippity-doo.
Bippity-doo, indeed. If you like the episode, guys, bippity-doo. Bippity-doo.
That's the US subscribe.
Yeah. Alright guys, if you like that, Hey guys, if you like the video, give us a like, go subscribe, and
Bippity-doo.
bippity-doo.
Like,